Atenção, turma!
Boa tarde, senor professor. Good afternoon, teacher. That's the greeting I receive every day as I enter the classroom here in the small community of Machanga in the African country of Mozambique. I've lived here for nearly 2 years as a volunteer with the Peace Corps. Mozambique has an incredible sense of community. While in America, we sometimes don't even know our neighbors by name, Mozambicans hardly leave their sight. All chores like cooking or clothes washing are done outdoors, alongside neighbors. No one waits for an invitation to visit your house, and no one schedules lunch dates to make sure they have time to see you. They just show up. With such an open and tight-knit community, there's never need for a babysitter. You know your kid will always be taken care of. It really feels like a massive family, and it's the family I was welcomed into from day one. While Mozambique is rich in culture, it's also one of the poorest countries in the world. Out of 187 countries ranked in the United Nations Human Development Index, Mozambique was near the bottom at 185th, beating out only Niger and the Democratic Republic of Congo. Years of Portuguese colonization, followed by a gruesome civil war, left Mozambique a sharp contrast to the positivity that it radiates today. But its scars still show, and one of the most obvious ways is in the education system, where I work. By 1997, 5 years after the Civil War ended, 90% of Machanga residents had received no formal education at all, and only 0.2% had studied beyond primary school. Needless to say, most kids who pass through my school are first-generation graduates and their families. And while access to schooling has greatly improved, isolation and a modest $3 annual fee keep many from studying beyond 7th grade. As an 11th grade teacher, I work with a minority able to study in secondary school. Many come from distant rural communities and board in our dormitory. I too attended a boarding school in the 11th and 12th grade, a colossal megastructure called the South Carolina Governor's School for Science and Mathematics, now complete with laboratories, gym, computer lab, and basketball court. Not to mention high-speed internet, air conditioning, and a full-time cooking staff. I look back at Governor's School as an experience that was overwhelmingly positive, though I may have disagreed in 2006 while studying for one of Dr. Bill's dreaded bio tests or cramming for one of Dr. Hendrix's history exams. But I'm now aware of how easy the rest was made for me at Governor's School. I had essentially no responsibilities or challenges aside from academics, and I got to live with people who became my best friends. Back in Machanga, I've become aware of just how easy I had it by witnessing the expectations and conditions of the students that live in the dormitory. Aside from studying, they have to maintain the school grounds and resources. This means cleaning bathrooms, cooking their own meals and cleaning their own dishes, washing clothes, which believe me is much harder by hand, maintaining the school garden and feeding school animals, and collecting firewood. The last of these, collecting firewood, is the greatest burden. They must wake up early on Saturday to make a 3-hour round-trip journey to the forest, of course carrying heavy wood on their heads half the way. If they don't get wood, then they don't cook, and they don't eat. The food is pretty basic. Every day, without exception, the students eat 2 meals of beans with shima, a flour-based starch like dense grits.
We always eat this food and this kind of beans. This food is made by flour, and to eat this food, you need to take a lip of shima. This called shima. You need to take the lip of shima and make it like this, and then add with the beans and
Electricity has entered the town of Machanga within the last few years and has allowed me the use of many modern conveniences at home. However, the classrooms and dorms are still dependent on a generator, and its scarce, dim lighting doesn't do much to create study areas. It illuminates a pair of light bulbs in 2 classrooms, both reserved for 12th grade. As I teach 11th grade, darkness is a problem every winter as the days shorten. This is my classroom 20 minutes into the last period of the day. Because students can't even see the board, many teachers simply don't teach last period during the winter. Back in their rooms, students have lighting, though neither its consistency nor intensity is very impressive. But you'll notice that lighting isn't the only thing lacking in their bedrooms. Many of them have no beds. Although there are more than enough bunks, roughly a third of the students at my school sleep on the floor because there aren't enough mattresses for everyone. A bunk with no mattress is simply no good. So some students sleep on straw mats, some share mattresses, and others use mosquito nets as cushions.
Fica aqui, neste quarto, com quantas pessoas? 20 pessoas? Ah. Então tem colchão? Onde dorme? Aqui? Tem esteira?
Sim.
Tem esteira? Então, é confortável dormir assim?
Não.
Explica.
Dói, isso quando acorda, com manchas na cara, cheio de bexiga.
Seria melhor com uma cama?
Sim.
Yeah.
My student standard of living is nothing that I'm proud of, but I'm immensely grateful to ESMABAMA, a partition of the Catholic Church that has privately funded my entire school. Without ESMABAMA, it wouldn't be possible to study beyond 10th grade in the entire district, and yet another generation of Mozambican youth would be denied access to education. But of course, the need continues. Even living here, amongst the poverty that keeps kids from going to school, I still have to remind myself that the deprived history of the Dark Continent should not anesthetize my desire to respond to the need. I should not accept it as just the way it is over here. Because in only 2 years, I've seen positive change in Machanga, and I only hope to accelerate it. Everyone deserves a first chance.